The way you start your day says a lot about how you lead your life. Remember that moment when your alarm clock goes off and you decide to hit the snooze button. It seems like a small thing, but that choice can be a reflection of a life lived on autopilot. Now imagine if that moment were different. What if, upon waking up, you were ready to live with clarity, purpose, and direction? Successful people around the world have one thing in common. They don't leave their days to chance. They create their days, starting with establishing a solid morning routine, an invisible discipline that keeps them on track with their most ambitious goals. This pattern, though often overlooked by those seeking quick change, is one of the cornerstones of true success. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, stated that self-discipline is the link between thoughts and achievements. It is this discipline that begins the moment you open your eyes in the morning, and that is what this video will cover. You're about to discover what separates those who just dream from those who do, and it all starts in the morning. Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Here, our commitment is to help you unleash your full potential, and that starts with a simple click on the subscribe button. Now let's get started. Because the truth is simple. Success doesn't start when you cross the finish line. It starts when you choose how to take the first step of your day. The routine that creates results. What Napoleon Hill taught. If success begins with the first step of the day, how exactly should you take it? The answer may seem simple, but it requires commitment through a routine. More than a set of habits, a well-planned morning routine is a silent declaration that you are in control of your life. And few understood this as profoundly as Napoleon Hill. For more than 20 years, Hill studied the most successful men of his time, including Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Andrew Carnegie. What he discovered was something beyond magic formulas. These people cultivated daily mental and physical habits that reinforced their vision of success. They didn't wait for motivation to appear out of thin air. They created it, day after day. Hill spoke of principles such as definite purpose, self-discipline, creative visualization, and thought control. All of these concepts fit together perfectly within a morning routine. After all, what is a well-structured morning, if not the daily practice of self-discipline? Think about it this way. When you wake up and dedicate the first few minutes of your day to activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit, you are actually reaffirming your purpose. You are training your brain to stay focused, your mind to stay clear, and your body to stay in rhythm. It's not about waking up at 5 a.m. or following a formulaic formula. It's about starting your day with intention. Hill said, the first victory of the day should be over yourself. And that victory happens when you decide not to start your day on the fly, but with a plan, a practice, and a purpose. A structured morning routine turns confusion into clarity. By consistently repeating small actions, you begin to rewrite the narrative of your day, and over time your life. Writing down your goals in the morning, for example, reinforces your connection to your goals. Practicing meditation or silence helps you tune into the present moment. And simple exercises like stretching or taking short walks activate your body and give you the energy you need to tackle the day. These moments aren't a waste of time. They're an investment. A morning ritual is like aligning your internal compass each day before you set out on your journey. Without this alignment, it's easy to get lost in the whirlwind of external demands, messages, obligations, and distractions. And here's the thing. You don't have to be a special person to create a powerful routine. You just have to be willing to take control of your time. And it all starts in the early hours of the morning. This strategy is not a secret. It is available to anyone willing to value what Hill called organized, intelligent action. What most people don't know is that the big breakthrough comes not from one extraordinary event, but from the repeated decision to start each new day right. And this is exactly where many people fail. Not because of a lack of ability, but because of a lack of consistency. And that's what we'll explore in the next chapter. Why do we fail to be disciplined? Even though we know the value of a well-established routine, why is it so hard to stick to it? Why do so many people start out enthusiastically, only to give up by day 3? The answer isn't a lack of will or ability. It's the subtle traps that sabotage self-discipline. The first of these pitfalls is a lack of clarity. When you don't know exactly why you're doing something, it's natural for your motivation to fade over time. Many people try to wake up early because they've heard it's good, but they don't have a real, strong personal reason for doing so. Without clarity, any challenge turns into a quitter. Another critical point is the lack of structure. Imagine starting your day without knowing what to do in the first 30 minutes. You wake up, but you find yourself wandering between checking your phone, getting up slowly, procrastinating taking a shower, or getting lost in social media. Without a clear sequence of actions, your mind takes the easy way out, and that path almost always leads to stagnation. And there is also a silent enemy: immediate comfort. The warm bed, the comfortable pillow, the dark room. All of these invite us to stay just 5 more minutes. But those 5 minutes have the power to destroy the energy of an entire day. This happens because by giving in to comfort, we send the message to our mind that our momentary desires are more valuable than our long-term goals. Technology, of course, doesn't make things any easier. Many people sleep with their cell phones next to them, and before they even get up, they are already immersed in notifications, messages, and social networks. The day has barely begun, and the mind is already occupied with the external world, with no time for the inner world. Then there's the myth of motivation. We expect to feel like we want to take action, but the truth is that the will comes after the action, not before. When you get up and do your first morning task, something changes inside you. You feel stronger, more coherent, more capable. It's this feeling that fuels motivation, not the other way around. Lack of discipline is also connected to how we deal with failures. If one day our routine fails, many people think, "I've lost everything, there's no point in trying again." This perfectionist mentality destroys progress. True discipline doesn't require perfection, it requires feedback. Making mistakes is part of the process. Coming back the next day despite the mistake is what separates those who evolve from those who stop. Recognizing these pitfalls is the first step to overcoming them. And you're not alone in this journey. Many have been there, including the most successful. What sets them apart is that they've learned to build a system that protects them from these pitfalls. And that system starts with a morning routine designed to overcome internal resistance. If you're here so far, it's because you're willing to change this scenario. And to continue helping you in this process, I ask you a simple favor: like this video. This shows that this content is being useful and helps me reach more people who are also seeking this transformation. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference. Now that we understand what prevents us from maintaining discipline, it's time to find out what those who succeed do. In the next chapter, we'll reveal the invisible secret that unites the most successful people in the world. And believe me, it's closer to you than you think. The invisible secret of the successful. They don't talk about it in every interview. It doesn't show up in behind-the-scenes videos or magazine headlines, but it's there, present as a silent pattern, repeated in biographies, documentaries, and private conversations. Highly successful people master their mornings. This is the invisible strategy, the one that works as the hidden engine behind your achievements. Whether in the world of business, sports, science, or art, men and women who build lasting legacies start their days with discipline. They know that the early morning hours are fertile ground for conscious decisions, extreme focus, and clarity of purpose. Steve Jobs, for example, once revealed that he would ask himself the same question every morning in front of the mirror: if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do? This morning reflection guided him in making crucial decisions. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential women in the world, begins her day with meditation and gratitude. She calls it centering before you act. These aren't isolated acts. They're rituals, moments of realignment that don't just clear the calendar, they clear the mind. And here's the key. This daily practice isn't about frenetic productivity. It's about intentionality. While the world sleeps, these people are already moving, not in the physical sense, but in the strategic sense. They're reading, planning, visualizing. They're taking care of their bodies, connecting with their values, and remembering what really matters. This gives them a competitive edge that can't be measured in hours alone, but in presence. Because at its core, morning discipline isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become by doing it. By consistently repeating small gestures, you shape your identity. You go from being someone who tries to wake up early to someone who keeps their word. And that changes everything. This is exactly what differentiates those who simply have goals from those who live in alignment with them. The morning routine is the meeting point between your ideal future and your present actions. It is the bridge, and the more solid this bridge, the faster and safer the path. A study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology showed that people who develop positive morning habits report higher levels of proactivity, self-confidence, and emotional well-being throughout the day. This isn't just theory, it's science, and the good news, it's within anyone's reach. You don't have to be a billionaire CEO to wake up with purpose. You don't have to have a busy schedule or a team waiting for you. You just need to understand that your morning is one of the few moments of the day when you have complete control. And it's in this space of autonomy that personal power is born. Most people waste this valuable time by giving their attention to the chaos outside of them in the first few minutes of their day. They disconnect from themselves before they even connect with the world. And that's why they feel lost, scattered, and anxious. But you can do it differently. You can turn your morning into your greatest ally. You can create every day a moment of reconnection with your values, with your goals, and with the best version of yourself. This is the real invisible strategy, a simple but intentional morning routine, practiced consistently, a silent but powerful commitment to what you want to build. Now that you understand the secret behind the success of great minds, you may be wondering, how can I apply this to my life in a practical, hassle-free way? That's exactly what we'll see in the next chapter. The architecture of a successful morning routine. Now that you know the invisible secret of successful people, it's time to shape your own ritual. The question is no longer, does this work? But rather, how can I adapt this to my reality? The good news is that there's no one-size-fits-all formula. What there are core principles that you can adjust to fit your lifestyle. The ideal morning routine is one that works for you, energizes you, connects you with your goals, and gets you moving before the world starts demanding your attention. Let's get to the basics. A powerful morning routine is made up of three main elements: mind, body, and drive. 1. Mindfulness, silence, and intention. Set aside the first few minutes of your day to connect with yourself. This can be through meditation, prayer, journaling, or even just a few moments of mindful breathing. The goal is to create mental space before taking in any external stimuli. This is when you set your emotional foundation for the day. 2. Taking care of your body. Physical activation. You don't have to do an intense workout first thing in the morning, unless you enjoy it, but moving your body is essential. It could be stretching, a light walk, or a series of jumping jacks. The important thing is to get your body moving and get your energy flowing. This improves your mood, increases your focus, and sends the message to your brain, we're ready to go. 3. Take care of the direction, clarity, and focus. Finally, bring clarity to your day. Write down 1 to 3 priorities that you need to complete. Not an endless list, just the essentials. Ask yourself, if I do just this one thing today, will I feel productive? This practice helps you get out of autopilot mode and act with direction, not reactivity. Here's a simple 30-minute routine that anyone can start tomorrow. Minute 0:05. Drink water and take deep breaths. Be silent. Minutes 5 to 10. Do some light stretching or moving around. Minute 10 to 20. Read a page from a book that inspires you. Minute 20-30. Write down 3 things you are grateful for and set 3 priorities for the day. Sounds too simple? Rightly so. Discipline doesn't grow out of the complicated. It grows out of the consistency of the basics done well. Over time, you can adjust, expand, or even reduce. The important thing is to get started. Avoid making the common mistake of trying to copy someone else's routines to the letter. What works for a billionaire who wakes up at 4 a.m. may not work for you, and that's okay. The key isn't the time, but the intention with which you wake up and take action. You are the one who defines the contours of your morning, and as you do, you begin to redefine the contours of your life. Now tell me, how is your morning routine today? Do you have any rituals that help you start your day off right? Or do you still feel like you wake up in random mode? Comment below. I really want to know how you're dealing with your mornings, and I may even bring you more videos on this topic based on the comments. And speaking of next steps, in the next chapter, we will explore what you may not yet see, the invisible benefits that arise from this constant practice and how they silently Transform your confidence, energy, and vision for the future. The unseen benefits of morning discipline. At first glance, a morning routine seems like a simple thing. Wake up a little earlier, do some activities, and get organized. But the true effects of this practice go far beyond the surface. There are benefits that don't show up in the first few days. They accumulate, grow silently, and before you know it, your mindset is no longer the same. These are the invisible benefits of morning discipline. They are not measured in tasks completed, but in internal transformations that change the way you think, act, and feel. The first is self-confidence. When you follow your routine, even a simple one, every day, you are reinforcing the message that you can trust yourself. And confidence is not born from big achievements. It is born from repeating small commitments. Waking up and doing what you set out to do is, every day, a micro-victory. And these micro-victories accumulate until you begin to see yourself as someone reliable, strong, and capable. Another quiet effect is mental clarity. In a fast-paced world where everyone starts their day in a rush, a morning routine gives you space to think calmly. It reduces internal noise, reduces the feeling of being behind, and helps you recognize what really matters. This clarity affects decisions, relationships, and even your ability to say no to things that no longer serve you. Daily practice also impacts your emotional energy. Starting your day with gratitude, breathing, movement, and focus doesn't just improve your mood. It also increases your emotional resilience. You become less reactive and more present. This means less stress, less impulsiveness, and more balance in your daily life. Additionally, morning discipline strengthens what Napoleon Hill called your positive self-image. By taking purposeful action first thing in the morning, you are reaffirming the kind of person you are becoming. It doesn't matter where you are today, the consistency of these actions begins to shape your future. And there's another powerful and often underestimated effect, the feeling of control. When you master your morning, you feel like you're in control of your day. And when you master your day, you feel like you're building something. This reduces that general anxiety of just reacting to life and increases your sense of progress. Even if the external results take a while to appear, inside, you already feel like you're making progress. It's this internal shift that fuels discipline, because over time, you don't just do your morning routine out of habit. You do it because you know how it feels to do it, and you know how it feels to stop doing it. These benefits aren't instantaneous. They grow like a tree, invisibly from the roots until one day they blossom. And when they blossom, they transform the way you deal with the world. You become someone who starts each day with purpose, and that simple fact sets you apart from the rest. In the next chapter, we'll take the next step together. You'll learn how to move from theory to practice with a simple but powerful challenge that can kickstart a new phase in your life. From theory to action, a challenge to transform your life. 600 words. Now that you understand the basics and benefits of a morning routine, the most important moment of all has arrived: taking action. You don't have to wait for Monday, a new month, or the perfect moment to start. The best time is now. And to make this start easier, here's a direct invitation. Would you like to take on a challenge with me? The 7-day challenge. For the next 7 days, the invitation is simple. Wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual and use that time to build your morning routine. You don't have to follow a rigid template. It's the intention that matters. Here is a basic suggestion for those 30 minutes. 5 minutes of silence, meditation, breathing, or prayer. 10 minutes of light movement, stretching, or walking. 10 minutes of inspiring reading. 5 minutes to write down gratitude, and 3 priorities for the day. This small commitment is enough to start seeing changes. What you're building isn't just a new habit, it's a new identity. By committing to this challenge, you're saying to yourself, I take myself seriously, I value my time, I choose to start my day on my own terms. And it may not be easy at first. There will be days when your body will ask you to stay in bed, and your mind will look for excuses. But remember, discipline is not about feeling like it. It is about honoring decisions made consciously. 7 days is enough time for you to experience the impact of this change. We're not talking about miraculous promises, but rather a new rhythm. The feeling of starting the day with focus, clarity, and lightness is something you won't want to give up once you feel it. And if you liked the idea of the challenge and think this video can help more people, leave a like here now. This helps me a lot to understand that this content made sense to you, and it can help YouTube show this video to more people who need that push to start their day off right. By the way, if you're going to take on this challenge, comment here too. I'm up for the 7-day challenge. That way I can follow your progress and bring you more content that will help you in this process. In the end, it's not about waking up early. It's about waking up with intention. Throughout this video, you've seen how a simple decision, starting your day with awareness, can transform not just your mornings but your entire life. You've seen that the most successful people in the world share this invisible pattern. They use their mornings to align themselves with what really matters. You've also seen that discipline isn't born from perfect formulas, but from consistent actions. And that success isn't a one-off event, but the sum of many silent choices made day after day. Perhaps the greatest achievement of creating a morning routine is not the increase in productivity, but rather the recognition of your own power. The power to choose, to prioritize, to create space for what is essential before the world starts pulling you in 1,000 directions. Waking up with purpose is a declaration. Today I choose to live with direction, not distraction. That's why this simple practice is so transformative. It changes your energy, your attitude, your decisions, and in the long run, it changes your results. And if you've come this far, it's because there's a real desire for change within you. A desire that deserves to be nurtured, respected, and put into practice. So here's the final invitation. Start tomorrow, not with grandiose promises, but with a small, sincere commitment. Get up 30 minutes earlier, sit in silence, breathe, write, plan, move. Take care of yourself before you take care of everything else. And if this content made sense to you, if it somehow gave you a new perspective, don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now. Here you will find more videos like this, designed to help you build a life with more clarity, purpose, and inner strength. Because the truth is simple. Success is not a matter of luck. It's a matter of rhythm. And that rhythm begins every day at the time you choose to wake up. Wake up with purpose. Live with power. And see you in the next video.